Okay. Okay. We got to do a couple of things here. So please bear with me live. If you are seeing this right now, this is the first live we're doing. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let me turn my volume down. All right. So I can hear myself on the screen. I can see myself on YouTube. It says there is 15 people there. I don't see anyone chatting right now, but that's because you have to be a subscriber of my channel. I'm going to assume everything is good to go on YouTube. I do have Instagram open for now, just to kind of keep. I love the funny faces. Let's just here. Hold on. When you like to spam in a place, you just get removed. Hi, Viva Las Vegas. So hold on over there. I'm going to fix this. Right. I'm sorry, everybody. Hold on. We've just got somebody who needs to go, likes to spam, trolls, jump on in. So, okay, already there's 234 people in the chat room on Instagram, and it looks like there's about 8 or 9 people on Instagram. Now, for those of you who are, sorry, YouTube, Sunday lives. Oh, there is a message there. Let's see. Chicago here. Good morning here. Good morning. Okay. So bear with me right now because usually Connecticut, North Carolina, Sweden, Athens, Greece, Minnesota, I usually like to see where everybody is from. But this is the first day I'm going here live on uh, YouTube. I don't even have my microphone properly hooked up because before I went live, I can notice there was some issues with the audio. So I'm just letting the camera pick up the audio for now. So I know on both Instagram and YouTube, the audio is not as good as it should be, and the picture is much better on Instagram than it is on YouTube. But I promise you, I will get this ironed out this week. And when we do our Sunday live next week, officially on YouTube, which I may still have the secondary camera on Instagram just so everybody knows, we will be all good to go. Other than that, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good. It is Sunday. It is the 15th of February. I am 58 years old. My birthday was the 12th. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. And in the mix of all of this, we are living in absolute mayhem. Mayhem. Mayhem, mayhem, mayhem. I think about the last year when we started the People's Union USA, when we called for the economic blackout on February 28th, to where we are today, is just leaps and bounds. And it might not seem like a lot has changed this past year, but a lot has. And I'm not even talking about my own personal growth, my understanding of movements and organizations. I'm not talking about that. The effects of what we created last year has changed the game. Last year, before we called for that economic blackout, it was all about protesting, 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 protesting. You had boycotts, you had blackouts, not blackouts, but you had boycotts and strikes here and there. But when we called for that mass economic blackout and we started to amplify the message of economic resistance, hitting the corporations who price gouge, exploit the people, support this administration, it started to spread like wildfire. We have on our permanent list, People's Union USA has Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Starbucks, Amazon, CBS, Hilton. Those are companies on the permanent list. But we have amplified the message so much that it has changed consumerism. Last year, we would just constantly shop and buy, consumers. We would consume whatever was put in front of us on social media, whatever the newest rave was. We were just those, needy gluttons who always wanted the next materialistic object. But now you talk to people, and people are definitely more mindful about what they're spending their money on. They're realizing that a lot of the things they've been purchasing, they've only been buying just for impulse buying, just to fill some need or hole inside, cheap thrill of dopamine. So people have really started to save money. They've started to look around their house and understand that we don't need so much denim, plastic, canvas, leather, and metal just all over the place. So people are incorporating more minimalism into their lives, more economic awareness. But what also has happened is other organizations, many organizations, I don't want to say all of them, but a large majority of the organizations out there have picked up on economic resistance and now have their own calls of boycotts and blackouts. So it has amplified the power of the people in conjunction with protesting. Now, I have always been on the fence about protesting, and my point with protesting has always been it doesn't change anything historically and statistically because we don't dedicate enough time to it. We're not consistent enough with it. So the only way protesting really works is when we do it on a mass level for a consistent amount of time in key places like outside the White House, outside of the Capitol, outside of the media corporations, outside of corporations we're boycotting. Those are the ways we boycott. So if you look at now what's happened with Minnesota, the ICE raids, the absolute just insanity that this regime administration has been putting on the people, it has caused people to incorporate economic resistance, protesting, and just peaceful civil disobedience and resistance like never before. And I'm not taking credit for this, but the People's Union USA has definitely helped amplify the message that we need to stand in solidarity. That unity is the most important thing we can do right now because it is not left versus right. It is not black versus white. It is not Christian versus Muslim. It is the people against the Epstein administration. And I refer to them now as the Epstein administration because clearly the billionaires, the corporations that are supporting this administration have put their puppet in place to protect them. He is as guilty as Epstein himself. In Epstein's words, he is the worst of the worst. The people, when you start jumping down this rabbit hole and you see the names and the corporations associated with what's going on, the manipulation from Pizzagate to COVID, all the things that they were actually involved in, he is a puppet. He was put in place because he is corruptible. He is greedy. He has no ethics. He has no moral compass. He has no soul. He sold his soul a long time ago, only one soulless, because anybody who would do 10% of the things he would do is already a complete indoctrined mindset. But to be that type of person, to support that type of person, to protect that type of person, you have to be the most lowest level of subhuman, of bottom feeding, demonic, just evil, disgusting. There are no words to describe this. There are no words to describe the absolute horror and filth we are uncovering. This is the worst you can do in humanity. Last night, my son and my buddy and I were just chatting for a little bit online, talking, and I said, this and hurting defenseless animals would be about the two worst things a human being can do. And what these people are doing, what, let me even back up. What we know they have done is the most inhumane, barbaric, evilest thing I have ever heard of in my life. And we know they did things that are even worse. If we're hearing rumors or stories about certain things, it all comes from somewhere. Just like all the movies we see, it's all based. We look at a movie and we go, "Oh, this couldn't possibly happen. This is just fantasy. This is somebody's dark imagination creating this." No, these are things that are influenced by stories they hear, and we have never even seen a film with this level of barbaric nature in it. Whether you're watching Hostel or you're watching some crazy horror movie, we've never seen things that involve children on this level because those people writing those horror movies know there's not a line, that's a line you don't cross, but obviously they do. And the things we have uncovered and read and seen, no human being needs to have these thoughts in their mind, but it is a part of our reality. So, not only not only are we being controlled by wealthy, powerful people who are exploiting us, using us, price gouging us, completely using technologies that we have created and turning it against us, we are also dealing with people who are pure evil, pure, absolute evil. What we would refer to as demonic, just e again, I can't think of a word. There isn't a word in the human language to describe this. We could say pedophile, we could say cannibalism, we could say torture, but this is children. This is just the most earth-shattering thing that we can have uncovered. And for me, to be completely honest, the fact that every single person is not screaming about this, is not finding the ways to amplify these messages to get this out. I just cannot believe that right now there's not 340,000,000 Americans surrounding the White House. I'm not calling for violence. I always call for peaceful uprising, peaceful resistance, peaceful civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is a dangerous word. I don't wanna see anybody get hurt. I don't wanna see anybody murdered. I don't wanna see anybody tripped out. I don't wanna see anything bad happen. But we need to in the most unprecedented moment in human history, we need to come together and do something. I mean, if you want to camp outside of Congress, outside the White House to do something, I will be there. I will be there. I'm ready to lay my life down on the line to fight for these changes because we cannot go silently into the night. We cannot let this rest. We cannot let the flames of this diminish at all. We are incorporating 2026 economic resistance like these corporations have never imagined. We are all going to take the metaphorical baseball bat to every single major corporation out there and squeeze them and suffocate them from their lifeline, and that is our money. We are going to condition and train ourselves to use and purchase and survive within the legal limits of our life, within the confines of economic resistance. You don't need to go out there and piss money away. We are going to apply political pressure like there is no tomorrow. And isn't it interesting that today is the first day I go live on YouTube, not Instagram anymore, and Instagram has not paused and froze up on me once so far. Whatever. We're applying political pressure to every single politician, and again, no disrespect to AOC, but again, I saw her video, I'll walk down the steps of the Capitol, get her eyes big for the camera, talk about the Epstein files, what Pam Bondi did, and that's it. and then there's nothing else. And in the comment sections, it's "You rock, AOC. We love you, AOC." Why hasn't any of our politicians at this point called for their arrest? Literally, their arrest. Why haven't the police in certain jurisdictions where these things have happened gone after them? Why is Bill Gates right now, Woody Allen, why aren't these being called in for questions? Woody Allen is a resident of New York City. He is married to his adopted daughter, who he was raping and sleeping with while she was a child. We have documented proof of this. Both of his children. We know Bill Gates was not only taking part in what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, but that fucking psychopath was doing experiments on children. Why aren't these people being brought in for questioning? Why aren't the media corporations demanding accountability and answers from them? Because they're all corrupt. And I don't mean to say AOC or Bernie Sanders is corrupt, but they're afraid. They're weak. They are afraid. They are weak because if they truly wanted to stand up and fight for the people, if they believed in these survivor stories enough, they would be calling for the immediate impeachment, removal, and arrest of this entire administration. So political pressure is not telling AOC she rocks. Political pressure is seeing a video like that of AOC and commenting at AOC. Why are you not calling for their arrest? Why is nobody doing anything? We're sitting here right now. You're sitting here listening to my dumbass talk to you on Instagram and YouTube while we literally have criminal, felon, rapist, pedophile, treasonist selling this country out, psychopathic maniacs, maniacs running the helm. If we were all on a ship right now, listen to this, because if you want to crop a piece of this video or soundbite me, here you go. If we were on a ship right now, if we were all passengers on a ship and the whole crew was sitting up there in their cabin driving straight for the fucking side of a mountain to destroy us, to crush us, to take everything away from us, what would we do? Would we just stand there on the ship watching them do all of this? Or would we do something? Because that is exactly what has happened. We are on a ship. We are on an organic rock, whether you think it's a globe or flat, I don't give a shit. Whether you think it's in a dome or bubble or not, I don't care. It's irrelevant. We are on a biological rock hurling through the universe at thousands of miles an hour, and madmen are dictating the way we live and the direction of our way of life and society, and not just ours, every generation before us, and they're planning on fucking screwing every generation ahead of us, including my children, 7, 10, and 30. And I will excuse my French for the I don't like any kisses. I will fuck someone up 6 ways from fucking Sunday if they ever think of hurting me or my family members at fucking all. Come near my children, and you will fucking feel the wrath of God upon you because I will tear your fucking face off. Okay? No bullshit. And that is the perspective and attitude all of us should have right now because we all, every single one of us and every single one of your family members live in a version of society that was created a long, long, long time ago by fucking psychopaths who were in positions of power and found a way to control and manipulate the masses through religion, government, society, and laws. And you and I are natural are natural species on this planet. This is my fucking planet, just like it's a bird, a bee, a badger, and like a honey badger, I don't give a shit. These fucking rancid, disgusting, genocidal maniacs throughout history, from Persia, Sumeria, throughout history, from Catholicism to Christianity to the Christian Crusades, and everything and anything in between have been fucking madmen. So for you and I to wake up today and want to honor any any aspect of society is fucking mind-blowing to me. For the 99th millionth time, I'm gonna say this, and I want you to please, if you'd like to give me a birthday gift, repeat these words to yourself all day, which I just totally forgot. I swear to God, so on fire. It will come back to me in 2 seconds, but yeah, it's completely out of my head. Just think of this until it comes back to me. We exist in a version of society that somebody created a long time ago. We wake up every day honoring and contributing to this version of society, and here we go, it just came to me. I have said this a million and one times, and I want you to repeat this phrase to yourself all day today. Here it is. Just say this to yourself. 99 point perc 99, we can even say 100%, but I'll give you 1%. 99.9% of the human perspective, 99.9% of the human perspective is intentionally lost, misguided, and corrupt. I won't say broken because it can be fixed, but we have been brainwashed, manipulated. We look at MAGA and say they're a cult. We are a cult. We honor this absolute insane way of life that has us waking up every day to chase a mythical figure called money so we can go out and buy things. Most things we need are land, air, food, and water. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? This planet, the one we have a symbiotic relationship with, provides land, food, air, and water for the low, low price of nothing. But wait, there's more. Everything we consider a country, culture, a religion, a wall, a border, a way of life has been created by a person in power. You have a lot. I'm gonna give you a great example, a large portion of Christians, because there's not Christianity, there's about 600 different versions of Christianity, but there is one that reads and honors the King James version of the Bible. And what King James did, to give you a little historical lesson here, people, peasants, sorry, us, the people, not the 1%, not the kings and the queens and the rich and the elite, the peasants, us, didn't have access to religious scripture. We didn't. The only people who did was the royalty, the elite, and we would hear the sermons of the pastor, the preacher who read from the book, the Bible, right? So King James said, "You know, I got an idea. Let's put a Bible in everyone's hands so everyone can have the word of God. But hold on, before we do, I want me and my scholars go through it, pick and choose what stories we want in there, and then to edit them to benefit our needs, like paying taxes." Yeah, God wants you to pay taxes. If he does, I'll kick his ass, okay? So, King James had this version of the Bible written. It says it right on the book, right on the King James version of the Bible, version of. But you will have Christians who say the King James version of the Bible is the truest, swear to God, no pun intended, the truest version of the Bible there is. Brainwashed. The Bible the Bible was redacted. The Bible was not only redacted, I hate to break it from you, but the Christian Bible is based on multiple different cultures and mythological stories throughout history that they stole and assembled to fit their own needs. They have taken the teachings of Jesus, whose apostles were actually referred to as the Way, and they have twisted and turned his words into the most corrupt version. Oh, wait a minute. You mean the most powerful people on the planet who control religion and government manipulated our divine connection because they told you when you were a kid, don't trust yourself. Don't listen to yourself. Don't have faith in yourself. Put your faith in God and Jesus. And what did God and Jesus want you to do? Well, guess what? Here's the book. This is exactly what God and Jesus want you to do. So let's come back to the 21st century, 2026. We all live in a version of society that was created long, long ago. 99.9% of the human perspective is lost and misguided with intention. Our religions are manipulated, our governments are manipulated, hence our way of life is manipulated. When you were a little kid, when your parents gave you a label, a name, John, Sarah, Bobby, Bella, Betty, right? When your parents gave you a name and then the TV shows you watched impression you, started to mold the way you think about the world and how things would be, and then you went to school and they filled you with the things that you needed to know, like George Washington crossing the Delaware and things like that. Like, who the fuck cares about George Washington crossing the Delaware? And I kid you not. Do I really need to have a brain cell in my head holding on to that memory? A precious cell in my brain dedicated to George Washington. My religion is love. Absolutely. We'll get there. Do we need to have those things? No. So a label placed upon us, TV shows, and families misguided, lost, 99% misguided, potentially projected perspective and expectations onto you that are molding and corrupting you. School, friends, TV shows, movies, music, social media, every single thing in the exterior world taking you away from that thing inside you, you have been second guessing your entire life. You have been trained and conditioned to second guess your knowing, your internal knowing, your internal connection to everything and everything beyond the physical reality. But you want to go back to normal, remember? You want to get this administration out and get the Democrats in, as if they're really going to make anything better. They'll restore some rights, they'll take ICE off the streets. We'll still be paying taxes, and the elite won't. We'll still be, subject to inflation, and just to mind you, the Democrats have had the House, the Senate, and the presidency all at the same time, and here we still are. And at least the past 5 presidents, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton. Oh, no, we don't need to even count the last 5 presidents. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and George W. Bush Jr. have all known about the Epstein files. As a matter of fact, Barack Obama loved him. He was a great guy. His Department of Justice denied the Epstein victims access to the files. So 5 presidents at least have known about the current corruption. And don't you ever wonder these people talk shit about each other all the time. Let's just stick with Donald Trump and Barack Obama for now. They have both talked junk about each other. But then you'll see them sit together at a president's funeral, laughing and giggling and talking with each other. And I'm only using them as an example because we've seen this throughout history constantly. The illusion of Republican and Democrat is an illusion. And sometimes these people become Republicans or Democrats because that is the only opportunity they have to get into politics. Hence, how some Democrats can keep siding and voting with the Republicans because they're not really Democrats, they're pretend Democrats. Our system, our way of life, our government is the most insane thing. And I'm sorry to tell you, we keep preaching the Constitution. The Constitution is what holds us hostage to this system. According to the Constitution and every other official document, we can change the players, but we can't change the system. The system is what is rigged. The system is what is corrupt. So I don't care blue, red, left, right, yin, yang. Fuck them all. They're all complacent. They're not calling for their arrest. They're not telling corporations you're going to pay your fair share in taxes. They are not finally telling the American citizen, hey, guess what? No more federal income tax for the American citizen. Every wealthy person, every corporation is now paying their fair share. And guess what, Americans? We have also created a legal, reasonable profit margin cap. What do you mean, Jay? Okay, let's take Nabisco. Nabisco needs to make a certain amount of money to buy their materials, to pay their people, and then to have a I get it. It's the whole point in being in business. But there could be a reasonable legal profit margin cap. Okay, it costs this much, you're paying out this much, you're allowed to make X, Y, and Z in profit. But we want to be this free capitalist country that can basically stick their fist up our asses anytime they want. When I was a kid, it cost about $1 for a loaf of bread. When I was working at Crazy Eddie's at 19 years old, a Hyundai was $6,000. Okay? It is today in 2026, February 16th, 15th, whatever the hell it is. It's a calendar. It's man-made bullshit. Today, it is 1,000 times easier to manufacture, package, produce, deliver anything we make. As a matter of fact, we are basically at a point in human history where we can live and survive on being an automated society where you and I never have to work again. So everything that we purchase today should be pennies. It's not supposed to be more today. It's supposed to be cheaper. Our family members created the technology. They were working to create a better life for you and I. They provided it by creating the technology we now have today. But again, the fucking maniacs in control want to now use this incredible technology against us. And I'm talking about automation, robotics, and AI. And I'm not talking about AI making your poster and taking your job, blah, blah. You don't need that dumb job anymore. And if AI can do it for us, then great. We don't need to do it anymore. We are now at a point in evolutionary history where our technology can assist us in the way of life. AI can connect us and teach us, show us how to heal this planet. So many wonderful things, but it's being used for malicious, dark intentions because of those who are controlling it. From Peter Thiel to Sam Altman to Elon Musk to Mark Zuckerberg to this administration allowing it because this administration was handpicked and put there in place to enable all of this corruption to blossom and bloom with no accountability. Holy shit, man. And I just said all that without stumbling on a word, didn't I? No script, no teleprompter. I've got the answer. I've got the answer from immigration to environmental to education to financial. I've got incredibly logically resonating, feasible solutions to all of it, to all of it. So aside from speaking right now and trying to raise the funds, get the people on board to really fight for the change, I don't know what else to do. But here's the hard, cold truth, and I don't mean this disrespectfully. I know I sound like I'm yelling, I curse, I'm rough around the edges. I am a result of a kid from the projects in Queens, New York, who grew up in an insanely abusive home, who has seen with open eyes the shit that has been going on my entire life. So, yeah, I'm at a point where I'm probably a little impatient. I'm a little frustrated, a little heartbroken. I'm ready to punch somebody in the fucking face, so to speak, okay? So, I mean, and it's not funny. I'm laughing right now because I don't know what else to do aside from what I've been doing. And the hard, cold truth, what I don't mean to disrespect anybody's beliefs, I don't mean to insult your religion, I don't mean to insult your sensitive, pure, never heard a curse word ears in your life. I'm sorry if I curse and I say things that offend you, and I'm sorry for this. But no one, no one or no thing is coming to save us. No one is coming to save us. No one is stepping up to save us. The politicians are failing us. Our military leaders are failing us. The extraterrestrials are not going to land here and save us. As a matter of fact, at this point, they probably want nothing to fucking do with us because we're dumber than people. I kid you not. Cavemen had a better sense and a better connection to life and understanding, a better way of living with symbiosis in this planet than we do. So the politicians aren't doing it, the military leaders aren't doing it, an extraterrestrial's not landing, and I'm sorry to help to say this, but you need to accept this. Jesus Christ is not coming back. His lessons were never about coming back. The only people who said he was coming back were twisted religious fanatics who wanted to manipulate and hold you to some false sense of hope until your last breath on this planet. So you are waiting. You are waiting for only what which you can provide. Nobody else will save us. Nobody's going to give you a better life. Nobody's going to make you happy. It all has to come from within, and it comes from listening to that which you have been denying, your inner voice. your inner knowing, your inner guidance, because every single one of you woke up this morning with that connection, with that voice, with everything you will ever need to navigate this world. You've only been tricked and manipulated and brainwashed and traumatically hurt into believing you are not worthy, you don't have it, you are not valid, you are not right, but I'm telling you, man, if I can be here talking to you right now, if I can tell you I am worthy of life, I am worthy of love, I am worthy of just being, then every single one of you are. And I'm not trying to be religious or spiritual with you, but how can we not be? How can we not at this point in our evolutionary knowing understand we are connected to something that does transcend human consciousness? We are more than what they have limited us to. They call it free will, but we are all running around in a maze. We are running around banging into each other, just hoping one day, somehow, somebody will open their mouth and say something that gets us all to stand together. Well, I'm right here. You wanna judge my past, judge me for cursing, hear me today, but perceive me as something else for some other reason, then you're the one who needs help, not me. That's the truth. You know, Gandhi taught us, "Be the change you want to see." And that means stop expecting. It literally does. Expectation, when spiritual teachers or life coaches tell you to expect, they're the stupidest idiots on the planet. They have no fucking idea what they're when they tell you to expect over hope, that is some Endorphin, consumerism, capitalistic, industrialized mindset, and it's crock shit. Being the change you want to see in the world means you being the change, you living the life, those words, and the way that you hope, not expect, hope everyone else can be. And if you won't get up and live that life yourself, then how dare you to expect anything of anybody else? Jesus taught us to love thy neighbor, treat each other as we want to be treated ourselves. Gandhi taught us that we have to be the change we want to see. Buddha taught us that the pursuit of materialistic objects, the pursuit of money, is the root of all evil. You and I were taught the biggest contradictory teachings at the earliest age. Case in point, money is the root of all evil. Every single one of you have heard that line. Money is the root of all evil, but you have also heard you can't have anything without money. You can't have a good life without an education, because if you don't have a good education, you can't get a good job. And if you can't get a good job, you can't buy a good home. And if you can't have a home, you won't have a family and children. You'll probably end up a criminal in jail. And then you'll do something bad and you'll go to hell. If you're bad as a child, Santa Claus won't bring you a gift. If you're bad as an adult, you'll get thrown in jail. If you're bad in life, you'll go to hell. Unless unless you just say these magical words, "I believe in Jesus Christ." That's it. You can do all the bad things you wanna do, but as long as you say that one line, you are absolved of your sins. And who taught us? Those who feast on the flesh of humans, those who slaughter life on this planet by the millions on a daily basis, those who can look in the eyes of a child and inflict pain and death and horror upon those are the people who are dictating how you and I live every day. And I am telling you, the only way that stops is when you and I say we have had enough and we stand together and stop it. My friends, this is that moment that you were born for. Whether you feel some pull or call that you are unaware of, whether you think you are here as a light being, a light worker, a star seed, or whatever word you want to use in angel on earth, this is that moment now, not tomorrow, not yesterday. It does not happen by gong, singing bowl, Reiki, or sage. It does not happen by politician, extraterrestrial, military leader, divine being. Happens by you and standing together and saying no more. We use whatever weapons we have to peacefully fight against this system. Economic resistance, like there is no tomorrow. Political pressure, stop kissing politicians' asses, especially those who say the words but do nothing. Am I forgetting something? Economic resistance, political pressure, and just mass solidarity. If you are going to protest, we can't protest on March 17th on Saturday and hope for no kings. We have to protest every single day, and I get it. You know, you have people quit your job, walk out of your job, don't pay taxes. Don't listen to those. Quit your job, you can't pay to support yourself or your family. You walk out of work and your boss says don't, you're gonna lose your job. Try and work it out the right way. Everyone who's going, "Just file exempt this year. Don't pay your taxes," dumb. That is the dumbest thing you can do because next year you're gonna file exempt too. The year after, yeah, you're gonna keep filing exempt. Great, because at some point they're gonna come back and say, "You owe us $250,000. We're taking your car, your house, and garnishing your paycheck until we can." The IRS has systems in place to take their money back. Not paying your taxes that way is the dumbest thing you can do. The only way we successfully don't pay our taxes is when you get about 30, no joke, 30 to 40 million Americans to not pay their taxes. Because anything less than that, they literally have systems in places to come after you. So don't do that. And if we all stop paying our federal income tax today, we're not just crushing and stopping the federal government, we're taking money away from every single benefit that our friends, family members, and neighbors rely on. It is our federal income tax dollars that are supposedly paying for all this stuff, all of these benefits. So if we take that money away, we are screwing our friends, neighbors, and family members. The right way to do it is economic resistance on a unprecedented scale, not only in this country, but getting everybody else on this planet involved to not buy from these corporations. We get these corporations and these elite billionaires to pay their fair share and we don't have to, then we get the corporations within the reasonable legal profit margin cap, and then we can start working on equality. Because that's the tough one. There's always going to be an opposing thought, way, will, want, need, perspective, always. So equality is going to be the hardest thing to do. We have to get to a point where we can at least do this. Mind our business, treat other people the way we want to be treated, and allow everybody else to live their lives the way they want to live, as long as they are living within good ethical boundaries. And what is that? Not destroying life, not destroying the planet, not killing people, not murdering people, not exploiting people, not traumatizing people, not bullying, not demeaning, not I mean, look at the stupid shit we do to our kids. Halloween. You want your kids to go out feeling safe and secure, not being afraid. But we're teaching about ghosts and goblins and spooky things as children to scare them. You have parents making videos online of traumatizing their children. I saw a video the other day. It was a dad. His son was sitting on the couch. It was like a Saturday morning. He had his breakfast, like toast and stuff on his plate, a blanket on, and he's watching TV. The dad has his camera set up, and the caption is just checking in on how my son is doing. The dad runs in, drops on the couch, slaps the kid's plate. His food goes all over the place. The dad rubs his head. The kid goes, and the dad runs off. But in the comment section, people are saying, "Oh, dads that don't think this is a good thing, you're the soft little snowflakes." No, that little kid is now sitting there with the breakfast he made or somebody made for him all over the place. Dad's most likely not going to make him another breakfast. The kid is smiling and laughing because it's his dad and he doesn't want to, go against what dad wants. Dad is a narcissistic, misogynistic asshole. Yeah. When we my father used to call it laughing at others' misfortunes. When you're the kind of person that sees a person slip and fall on the ice and bust their ass, and you laugh and think that's funny, there's something fucking wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with a human being falling on cement and hurting themselves. There's nothing funny about a parent bullying their child, especially for social media validation. So, again, 99.9% of the human perspective is lost and misguided and broken. And to that person before who said, "Love is my religion," what kind of love? What kind of conditions are in your version of love? Excuse me. And I'm not trying to be hard on you, but I agree with you. Love should be the religion. And what would that love be? That love would be an infinite gratitude for every breath you take. That love would be for knowing that even though you have experienced the most horrific, barbaric, traumatizing things a human can experience, that they weren't done to define you. They don't dictate who you are. They were the most valuable lessons that you've ever learned. They've taught you how to safely navigate this world. They've taught you how to connect with people who are going through something similar, and they've taught you how to extend your hand out to everyone in front of you who is down. So my pain, my trauma, my fear, the horrors of my past don't define me, nor do the good moments, the joys, the pleasure, the trips, the money, the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll, all those materialistic objects. They don't define me either. Emotions, happiness, sadness, hate, anxiety, fear, those are sensors. They're alert signals. Inside your body, you have sensors, senses, right? And they alert your senses. So you get these emotions. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I'm afraid of that. You don't dive into it. You don't take all of it. You move in the direction that resonates love and gratitude and positivity with you. So love is just being infinitely grateful for the aspect that you are here. Love is allowing, finding that way to transcend what divides us and allowing everyone else to have that freedom to be who they are and be who they are on their own pace. It always drives me crazy when I talk to people who believe they are spiritually enlightened. They've ascended to some higher level of thinking, yet their husband or their wife hasn't, and they have a problem. I can't get my husband or wife to think the way I do. Well, you're not as spiritually evolved as you think you are because you're holding somebody else hostage to your expectations and your perspective. understand every single person is on their own journey. They all deserve their own time and pace to come to terms with the world on their own. The only job you and I have, the only thing we are supposed to be for anybody else is a beacon of hope, a source of support and inspiration. And that to me is love. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what you call yourself, what religion you are, who you pray to, salute you. I don't care who you sleep with, as long as it's not something insane and disgusting, right? I don't care who you choose to love. I don't care what you love, wear. I don't care about any of those things. I just care that you're content. I care that inside you are listening to who you truly are. You are none of this out here. This is the matrix. This is the illusion. This is the result of the false identity. In here is the light. In here is the way. What did Jesus teach us? No man can bring you to God. No one can bring God to you. I am the way. I am the light. I am the life. No one comes to God but through me. What that means is no one can bring you to God, and no one can bring God to you. The way to God is not through an external figure named Jesus. The way to God is through the teachings of that external being who told you within. The way to the divine is within. You close your eyes when you let the thoughts be without judgment, without resistance, without expectation, when you don't force, when the sounds around you are allowed to be, when the bird chirping, the cars outside, kids screaming, no forcing, no blocking, sitting, breathing, and being, and letting everything be as it should be, purging your thoughts and realizing in that infinite stream of thoughts, the more you look at them, the more you feel the emotion rise, the more you understand that that emotion is only telling you that that event, that action wasn't one that resonated joy, love, positivity with you. So don't do it again. Don't go in that direction. Sooner or later, you'll notice that between those thoughts, there's a space. The more you sit within, the more you meditate, right? Just letting everything be, breathing, just sitting there, listening, being pleasantly existing. The more you do that, you'll start to notice that little sliver of space between all of those thoughts. And the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you do it, that space becomes more prominent. The thoughts get quiet. The silence, the stillness, the nothingness becomes more prominent. And in that nothingness, you are connected to everything. And when you reach that state of bliss, when you reach that state of pure nothingness, no name, no identity, no wants, no needs, no thoughts, no connection to the reflection in the mirror, it, it is the most profound aspect of everything. In those moments, everything is just perfect. It almost like almost like daydreaming. You know, our consciousness, your soul, your awareness has that ability to disconnect the ego every so often. And that's when you're daydreaming. When all of a sudden you're looking out the window and you're just looking at a branch and you're not looking at the branch, you're kind of looking at the whole tree, but focusing on one piece of the bark and not just one piece of the bark, you're focusing on one color, one texture, and you really sink so far deep into it and everything and everywhere just fades away. There's nothing. There's no thoughts. There's nothing. Just blissfully existing. And then, somebody comes along and goes, "Hey, snap out of it. What are you doing?" "Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. Welcome back." That to me is the most important thing we should be pursuing. It's that teaching how it because in those states of nothingness, you realize how much of the shit we embrace every day is absolute and utter complete bullshit. The things we honor, the things we worship, the things we do to each other and our planet, the animals and the environment is demonic and it's evil. And somehow a long, 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 long time ago, that evil found a way to manipulate us, control us, and hold us hostage to the most destructive and darkest path in existence. So no, no one is coming to save us. We are all we got. And some of you might think I'm crazy, some of you don't. But I promise you this, I swear to you, everything good in my life, my children, everything, my animal, everything I am and have, I swear to you that since I'm a child, I have known my purpose. And I know my purpose is to do this, to find a way to just keep speaking until one day I say that sentence to that person who can get me out there so everyone knows we are all in this together. We are one within one, and we cannot go on without each other. And it is time we stop. It is time we stop embracing this industrialized and darkened destructive mindset, and it is time we listen to that inner guidance within. It is time to stop procrastinating. It is time to stop waiting for somebody else to come along and motivate you. It is time to get up. This is your life. This is your moment. This is your now. And we are being raped and robbed by complete fucking darkness, by demons. And if you and I don't do something about it now, they win. Darkness wins. The light gets extinguished. This world dies. Our world dies. The ship goes slamming into the side of the mountain with everyone on board unless we storm the fucking castle and get control immediately. So, if you have the slightest belief in what I'm saying, help me. Help me. I'm not asking you to walk behind me. I'm asking you to stand with me in solidarity and walk with me. Share the messages, amplify the videos because I'm getting fucking hammered and buried by social media. If you can contribute through the PayPal link, to the Buy Me a Coffee link, you are all I have 620,000 followers on Instagram. If I take a day off of not posting videos, it goes down. My monthly ratio goes down by millions. Yesterday, 3 days ago, it was 12.5 million views over the last 30 days. I took the last 3 days off, 11.5. Today, 10.5. It's going down. I post a video, it gets seen by 2,000 people. 620,000 people on Instagram alone, and nobody is seeing the messages really. So, if you can share the messages, if you can copy and paste the link onto your Facebook, your Substack, everywhere, and I'm on all of them, Instagram, YouTube, Substack, Blue Sky, Facebook. I won't go on X, fuck Elon Musk, the devil, breathing, living evil, psychopathic agent of division. Do not trust, do not support, do not buy, do not post, do not tweet on his shit. Get off it if you are on it. But if you could contribute, if you could help out, understand that even though it seems like I have so many followers and stuff like that, there is literally a handful of you who will buy a People's Union shirt, who will buy me a cup of coffee, who will contribute to PayPal. And to all of you, I swear to you, I think of you every day. I'm gonna show you something. don't mean to get corny on you. This is my prayer jar, and I'm gonna start this again because so many of you need that, and what this is this is a jar of a bunch of people. Like, I would say, "Hey, who wants to be in this jar?" They would send me that, we post it. Every single day when I wake up in the morning, I do my own little thing, right? And when I come down here into my room, I meditate and stuff, I take this jar and I just kinda put it in my hands, and I say my morning prayer and my manifestation and stuff, and I kid you not, every single person in this jar, they're all living comfortably. They're all living peaceful lives, they're all living beautiful lives, and I'm not saying this is because of something I'm doing, but I'm not gonna say it isn't. We may think we know how things work, we may hear or read things that kind of resonate truth with us, but at the end of the day, none of us know shit, and if there is a part of me that can help your life, help you in any way, then I promise you, I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. I don't care who you are, and I know I don't know your name, I don't know your face, but I think of you every day. I think of all of you every single day. So share the messages, help out, stand in solidarity, visit thepeoplesunionusa.com if you wanna see what that's all about. Visit onewithinone.com if you wanna see what I'm all about. It's now or never, folks. We we are the last line of hope humanity has. We've come to a point in history where that power, that evil power that has always been here, has total control. That's why I get so mad when I see, like, Bernie Sanders post about, "No, Mr. Trump, you can't just," or, "No, we can't let the oligarchs win," when they clearly have only won today, but they won long, long time ago. And yeah, Instagram still, Grego, has not paused me once today, of course, but that's okay, because 'cause I'll keep going live on both Instagram and YouTube. It's gonna make the difference. I'll set 6 goddamn cameras up in here, and I'll go live on every platform I can go live on if that's what it's going to take, because I promise you, whether you wanna believe these words are coming from me or from beyond me, this is it, man. We are that last line of light. Without us, the darkness wins. We cannot have that. It is spreading like a virus. It's not just here either, and that's why it's so important to get our collective energy together, to stop the bullshit, and I'm talking to a lot of spiritualists too, with the singing bowls, and the gongs, and the Reiki, and the sage, and stop fucking manipulating people to earn your living. Stop it. You're a charlatan. You're a modern day snake oil salesman. Have a beautiful day, everybody. I hope I hope my words ring in your head like a bell today. I hope my words are like that song you just can't get out of your head. 99.9 perspective, 99.9% of the human perspective is lost and misguided, and you and I are the last line of light that humanity has. Instagram. 620,000 people who will never see this live. Thank you. Please share the videos. I'll see you later. And YouTube. Yeah, yep, YouTube. I appreciate your patience. I promise you, I will dial this in. I see a whole bunch of comments in the chat. We will get this sorted up so the laptop is in front of me and I can correspond. That is one of the most important things I want to incorporate into the Sunday Live. I want to dedicate either the first 15 minutes or the last 15 minutes or 30 minutes to you, to talking to you, to answering your questions, to getting to know you. So please tune in every single Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. It will be on Instagram as long as Zuckerberg isn't pausing me and freezing me out, but YouTube is now going to be the primary source. So thank you for being here with me today, and just don't stop. And if you haven't started, well, today's a really good day. So long, everybody. I'll see you later. I don't even know how to stop the feed here. Oh, end stream. There we go. Thank you so much for the hearts on YouTube. I love the hearts. And I say this on Instagram all the time. It's not about the algorithm. It's not about boosting it. It lets me know you hear me and see me and feel me. It's your way of sending the same love and gratitude that I have for you back to me. So thank you so much. And when I keep looking over here, I'm just looking at the chat and the screen. I'll get this dialed in. I promise. Such a slacker with this technology stuff. I really am. But other than that, Craig, thank you for moderating today. I'll touch base with you in a minute. Everybody else, please share the videos. You are all I got. Thank you. I'll see you later, everybody. Take care.